welcome to the Vet School Speaks. Today is Monday, November 26th, and this is episode number 40. Hi, how are you? The best part about this is, do you totally only see my giant bucky teeth? How rad is that? Hello. I've been feeling some changes lately. I'm totally just going to keep this on. Because guess what? When you're wearing a lumberjack hat, which involves a beard, you totally don't have any fat lady neck. It's the most awesome hat in the world, people! Thanksgiving got a few extra pounds on you? No fear, wear a lumberjack hat. Plus it keeps your face warm. Also, it might actually discourage you from eating too much because how do men eat through these things? I know what they're doing. I feel like I need a pipe though. Does anybody have a pipe? When I was a kid, I totally wanted a beard. So yay, now I have one! In approximately 5 years, I'll be like, why did I ever make that wish? Why is it coming true? But for now, it's fun. So, yeah. Hi, welcome! I will take this off eventually, I promise. Because I got other hats to show you. So I gotta take it off, okay? But for now, it's totally on. Festive. Oh my gosh, how was your week? How was your Thanksgiving in the US? Ours was fabulous. It was super fabulous. I'm not even kidding you. It was super fabulous. We totally had Thanksgiving this year, and my little grandma, well, there's like this whole thing in my family because I call my grandparents Mama and Papa, but now my daughter calls her grandparents Mama and Papa. So my grandparents are now referred to as little grandma and little grandpa, but I still call them Mama and Papa. It's very confusing. But this is my show, so we totally had Thanksgiving at my Mama and Papa's, and it was awesome! Because, in Indiana, Thanksgiving this year was 60-something degrees. Global warming. Much. But it was super duper awesome because we got to take my little dog, and so I had my kid and my dog and my husband, and we were all playing frisbee because I have like a big old backyard, like 4 acres or something. So, and it's awesome. So we were just out there after we ate, and we're like, we went outside, and we played frisbee, and like my little dog, I was not sure about her being off leash because she's never been off leash because, hi, I'm crazy and I'm terrified that she'll get loose and run away and run into a car or something. But so we have this like super long lead that is like a training lead, and it's like 50 feet or something. It's insane. It's probably longer than that. I don't know measurements. It's very long. So, I do just my beard, okay. So we totally had her on that. We're like playing frisbee with her until she got tired, and then I totally took her off of it. And she just ran around. It was so awesome. So we had so much fun. Okay. So that was fabulous. And then, I don't know if you told me last week, if you recall, I started talking about craft bazaars. Well, we went to a craft bazaar here in Indianapolis. It was I had some cheesy name. It was the Beech Grove High School. And it had 175 vendors. And let me just discuss, it was very nice. But there was no plastic canvas anywhere. However, there was this, see, my left-right's messed up. There was this awesome little lady who's wearing her tatted hat. It had so many tatted things. So I bought this very festive holiday pen and a very festive tatted ring. How fun is that? I love her. And then also, there was no plastic canvas. There was only one toilet paper cover in the whole place. It was way too classy. I was a little disappointed. But I did find this. It was made by a babillion-year-old lady. Okay, she wasn't really a babillion years old, but she was elderly. Okay. It's a little potpourri sachet. So it involves both tulle and potpourri and lace and a fake poinsettia. So this small thing did, in fact, redeem the entire craft fair for me. And it was $1. $1. I love you, little old lady. I love you, little old ladies of the world. Kiss your faces. But it was very fun. We had a fabulous time. We met some people who have 35 beehives and were selling their own beehive wax CD stuff. That was awesome. I really love this. I'm sorry. I may not ever take this off, actually. This is for my husband. I had this done last week. This is the show of no structure. Hi. I totally had, this is a finished object from last week. I don't know if you remember last week, I had a house full of I had a house full of my family, which is just my family. That's like 3 people. But to our house, that's a house full because our house is this big. Okay. So I couldn't record. I had to record when my husband was here, and I couldn't bust out this awesomeness because I didn't want him to see how sexy I am. Ow. This is a G-rated podcast usually. I don't know if it can be qualified as that now. But this is the lumberjack hat, and I apologize, I can't remember who made up this pattern. It is a pay pattern. Available. I'm sorry, I'm dropping things. Available on Ravelry, and I'll put the person who wrote it in the show notes, but I just forgot. Sorry. But it's supposed to be made with bulky weight yarn, but then I made this part with chunky, so I had to make this part smaller. And then this part was, in fact, bulky, but it was a little too short. My husband has a very, like, his face is not wide like mine, but he has a long, like, Abraham Lincoln face. So I needed to make it longer. And also I wanted it to cover more because he wants to wear it outside. At work, I kid you not. What else? So I needed to make this part bigger. So I bought the pattern so that I would not have to monkey around with one. And guess what I ended up doing? Monkeying around. But this is brioche stitch. This is totally all acrylic all the time, yo. This is like Lion Brand chunky. This is like that homespun, whatever. I love that it's called homespun because it is neither from anybody's home nor is it spun. Whatever. It's still festive for a beard, for a husband who has salt and pepper hair. Okay. Okay. But so that's what I'm wearing. Oh, and I'm also wearing my halyard sweater, which is made with Blackwater Abbey yarns in the Pippin colorway. It's a worsted weight sweater. Guess what? Okay, so you know how I was all like, no, I'm never going to make worsted weight sweaters again. Oh my gosh, I totally dig this sweater. And I think I'm going to have to make more because it's cold. Now, this is the thing I don't like about this sweater. The sweater in reality is, in fact, a pullover. I don't know how anybody, I guess then people would be okay, not my fatness. I don't know how you would do this neckline and not want to murder everything. This is like not happening for me. So I'm very glad I made it a cardigan. Also, a worsted weight pullover is insane. Everybody's knitting that beatnik. It's been in my queue forever, but it's a worsted weight cable sweater on Fat Lady. No. Not working for me. It's so cute. I love it. I totally want to make it, but no. No. Okay, so wouldn't that be such a cute, jovial man? I totally would be awesome as that. Anyway, but I'm proud that I'm me. This is the stupidest show ever. I'm sorry. Whatever. There's residual pecan pie in my system. That's probably what's wrong. Totally right. So I have so much to show you this week. Oh my gosh, surprise. Look at my teeth. That's so much to show you my teeth. But I have lots of things to show you because I have so many thank yous. First of all, I want to say thank you to Judy, who donated her real, live, hard-earned from the world in which things exist. She donated to the show. Thank you, Judy. Also, I don't even know where to start. I'm so overwhelmed by all the awesomeness. I just can't even do it. So Friday, we're totally putting up our Christmas tree. Love it. And I go to the mailbox because I hear the mailman rustling around out there. And amongst other things, which I had purchased, oopsie, there was this! Sent to me by the beautiful, lovely Am I? Yes, I am. Ha, ha. How excited am I? So I totally just took her off the tree to show you because she's going right back on there. Thank you. Then also I have to say thank yous. Okay, I have to say thank yous to the beautiful Stockinette Zombies, of course, for being them because, hi. Also, I have to say thank you to them and the beautiful, beautiful face, Risa1313 of Girl Cave Bags. I totally said that right, right? Right. They in conjunction with one another sent you a prize. Look at that. It's a prize for the crazy cow. Oh my gosh, do you feel so fancy? I feel so fancy because guess what? One for me too. But you get this one. Isn't it cute? It's squirrelies and acornses. There's prizes in there. I got the prizes too. I won't even lie. There's a fancy pumpkin-y tea. Okay, let's try that out. There is fancy Lolo bar sample. And of course, that's the Girl Cave Bags card. Which I will put the note in the link, obviously, because you can't see that. But how excited! So now we have for the Crazy Cow, which is running through December. Shut your faces. We totally have this prize. We have the beautiful 2 yarn prizes sent by the iRock Knits Corey, I Love Your Faceness, and 2 of the Cloudy Apples ebooks. How lucky are you people? So lucky. By the way, I'm totally enjoying all the Crazy Cowness. So much. Basically, I'm enjoying all the... Sorry, there's a marble rolling around the table because I have a 5-year-old. So I'm enjoying it all so much. Yay, everybody! So there's that. I think that is all the thank yous. No, it's not. Just today, my mailbox was again full of exciting joy. I guess what the beautiful worsted weight sent me. What? Cushion stuffing! It's going on my tree with gingerbread man. And then also, guess what I got? The much coveted and sought after, the Moonshine Fibers. The worsted weight was totally so generous, and she sent me some of her brushes. Because she saw my beautiful bag from Lois. You're screaming me right now what her shop name is, and I can't think of it. Ah! I'll put it in the show notes. When I do that. So she saw that and she was like, oh my gosh, I totally have some roving that you need. And it's, I need a moment with my beard and my yarn. Stuff that's not yarn, but will be one day. Yeah. So it is so soft. I just want to make it into my hair and wear it. Oh, maybe so. So this is, of course, I should tell you something about it maybe. This is the Kansas Show base, which is a Merino Llama Awesome Sauce base. I would highly agree. And it is No You Are, But What Am I colorway. Shut up. I have so much goodness to spend. I need to get on it. Okay. I think that's all the thank yous. Because that wasn't enough, right? Okay. So, yes, lumberjack hat. Okay, next finished object. Because now we're talking about knitting. Lovely segue. This is my finished geyser stretch from the Choreo Cow by West Knits. This is, of course, Stephen West. Okay, look at it. It's like all... Doesn't it feel like it should be a stretch? It's like... So this is a worsted weight one. And it is made with some Barocco. Oh, I said it right. Look at me. Some Barocco Ultra Alpaca. Some nature spun worsted by the Brown Sheep Company. And some random hand spun alpaca. I'm like a knitting Yeti. Ah! Don't have nightmares. I'm a friendly Yeti. Serve me tea, we'll chat. So it's totally squishy and delicious, and I'm enjoying it very much. I'm not participating in the second pattern that came out. It is a I forgot to. It's like the Aurora something. It is a droopy what's that called? The hat that's like a stocking shape, but it's droopy. Dang it! It's called something. What's it called? Oh well. It's one of those, but I feel like what it is really relies on the yarn he used to use, like some sort of like, it's like an ombre yarn, and nothing I had in stash would have really worked and been interesting enough to pull off the plainness of the thing. So I'm not doing that one, but I may in the future. Who knows? I'm gonna get so many marriage proposals. Shh, it's okay. Shh. So that. Okay, now I take this off. That is toasty up in there, yo. Toasty. Do you see my super beautiful hair? Not. I'm going to try to let my hair grow back to my original color because I'm deciding that I'm not high maintenance enough to spend the $5 on henna every 6 weeks. I'm so cheap. It's really not that. I'm just like, maybe I should go back and read it. So you're going to see me in some various sort of stages of disarray and for the next forever. So I may be wearing lots of hats, some with beards, some without. Just FYI. Sorry. That was a lot of wool in the face. I usually don't have trouble with the alpaca. And in fact, I spun enough of that alpaca for a sweater vest and then knit said sweater vest and didn't have any problem with it. And this time when I was knitting on that cow, it wasn't like I was having a full-on allergic reaction. It was just like I had to do this every once in a while. Like every 3 or 4 rows, I'd be like, so I hope I'm not developing an alpaca allergy. That would be so sad for me. Anyway, you don't care right now. So second, or whatever, some other finished object. Oh my gosh, make it from Stockinette Zombies. This is my For Good hat, which I totally have the buttons on whacked out. I'm not even going to take it off and redo it because it'll just make it worse. Because I'll forget which way it goes. But anyway. So this is her pattern. You might recall that I made another one last time. Because I got some problem. But when I made the last one, it was with homespun. And the homespun was totally over something. It was either overspun or overplied. So it was a little crunchy, not like crunchy, but a little crunchy. So I totally soaked it for a while, and then I may have been a little rough when I took it out of the soaking. And so I lost a little bit of this beautiful pop of this ridge here of awesomeness, which I can't find. Look at me, I'm doing it. Woohoo! So I lost a little bit of that definition, which I really loved. And quite frankly, I just need an excuse to make another one. So I did. This is yarn that has been hanging out in my stash because I don't know. I never before have been one to buy one skein of worsteds. Like one skein of sock, yes, but not one skein of worsted. But before I started doing the podcast, shortly before I started doing the podcast, I saw this, which is a Malabriga Rios, and I apologize, I have no idea what colorway it is. Autumnal Vineyard is what I'm going to call it. Because that's what they should have called it. No, I'm not saying that. Whatever it was, but it's Autumnal Vineyard in my mind. Anyway, so of course it's Malabriga. It's all squishy and wonderful, and the colors are very awesome. They're all my favorite colors. So I've been just like looking at it, being like, ta-da! Yay! And I have this much left. It's less than half a skein, so I can't make another hat. Unless I made it for my kid, and this is a little bit adult coloring for my child. But I think I might make a little doohickeys for my hand or something. And then, I don't know what is going on with my hats. I've never been a big hat knitter because I've been like, dude, I have one head. How many hats do I need? Clearly now I need 7,000. Because guess what I made this morning? I kid you not, this morning, it is now 8:54 p.m., but I have had time to make this, wash it, and dry it today. I did my Zumba this morning in a bit of like post-holiday guilt. So as a reward for doing my Zumba this morning, by the way, super sexy. You thought the hat was good. Just watch me doing Zumba on the Wii. Anyway, so in a reward for myself for doing that, I cast on a hat. Because clearly the two are aligned in some way. So this is the, oh wait, I have to look at it because I didn't print the pattern or write it down. This is the Chunky Dean Street hat, and I don't know who it's by because her name is not immediately visible on the PDF, which I downloaded. So I'll put that in the show notes. And this is some homespun I made, that I spun, something like that. And this is homespun from, this is Falkland. By the way, this is some of my very early spinning. I love Falkland. Again, Falkland is one of those things, I'm sure you've heard other podcasts talk about it. I'll talk about it just in case you're abroad. Falkland, like the punta, I hear you laughing, is not named after the sheep. It's named after the region. So the Falkland Islands, it's supposed to be considered a greener wool because the sheep on the island are, and they're mostly Merino, Corriedale, maybe one other, but I can't remember. Maybe it's Polworth. Anyway, most of those sheep on the island, they don't have natural pests there, so they don't have to dip the sheep to prevent them from getting the parasitic stuff. So it's considered a greener wool for that. I don't know how valid that is, but that's what they say. So this is some Falkland, and it's by, the roving was from Edgewood Garden Studios, and it is so soft and light. So yeah, it's so pretty. And it's like a bulky weight. The pattern is for bulky. And I did the pattern as suggested. The only difference being that the pattern is written on 9s and 10s. Is that right? Yeah. And I just used 7s for the whole thing. No, that's not a lot. That's a lot. I used 7s for the rib and 8 for the top part. So I totally did it. Speaking of which, I'll just show you one of my enabling things right now because it's kind of pertinent. I bought some stuff this week. I feel mixed about being excited that I got stuff in the mail and being very guilty for spending money on myself this close to holidays, but whatever. I just bought this because touching this when I had like balled it up and was looking at it longingly made me remember how much I enjoyed this fiber. It's from the Edgewood Garden Studios. And so I bought some more Falkland from them. This colorway specifically is the Woodlands Edge. Isn't it pretty? By the way, I'm totally hesitant to even tell you about this, but we're close friends, right? Their fiber is super cheap. Like, really cheap. Like, I almost feel guilty about how cheap it is. But obviously, I bought it. Anyway. It's pretty. So, and it's very soft, just like the others. So I'm sorry to say about that. Let me start spinning. But anyway, so that's all the enabling for the moment. But there's more later. Don't worry. Dang it. So, other works in progress. What do I have? I don't even know what I have to show you. It's out of control. I'll show you that in a second. I was working on my little socks from the beautiful people, the Allison at Simply Socks Yarn Company. This is her post yarn in the Chatham Lighthouse Beach colorway. So I made a little bit more progress on that. You would think that all of the car time, we were in the car for over 7 hours on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Luckily, our families live both in the same city, but they both live near Cincinnati on opposite ends. Whatever. Can't be too picky. They could just move to make our lives more convenient. That'd be nice. But we were in the car for like 7 hours. You would think I would have like a whole pair of socks done. But on the way down there, we took my dog, as I mentioned, and she was not feeling so well. Every woman in my house gets car sick, so we all had to take car sick medicine. We take Bonine, by the way. I heard that Froggy Monkey talking about Dramamine. We don't take Dramamine anymore. We take Bonine. I can use those C-band things. Those work fine for me, but they don't work for my kid, and obviously my dog won't keep them on. And doesn't have the same pressure points as we do. But anyway, so we all had our Boney, and we were like, and it doesn't make you drowsy or anything. It wasn't that. She was not feeling well the night before, so she just wanted to sit on my lap. So that was cool, whatever. So I didn't get to knit on the way down there. And then on the way back, it was dark. I was totally bummed. But anyway, I still had a fabulous time. So this is how far I am. I have put in the heel, the waist yarn for the Afterthought heel by the beautiful Laura Linneman, of course. So that's that. That's all I have. Sorry. Other works in progress that you have seen. Oh, you have seen. I'll just show this briefly because don't think I've forgotten about it. I'm still working on it. It's just taking for a billion years. like literally. I am doing the Walpole by the beautiful Hannah Fettig. I'm throwing needle gauges out of it, evidently. It's this sweater right here. I am making that, and it's just super slow progress, people. I didn't show it to you last week. I actually worked more on it that week than I did this week by far. So this is where I was last time you saw it. So I got some more inches done, but it's taking a million years. I love the yarn and I love the fabric it's creating, and I'm hoping, you know, sometimes those sweaters that don't close and they don't have a closure are kind of hit or missy, like in how they, in terms of how they hit you on the shoulder. So I'm hoping it's gonna work out well because it's taking a million years. But I'm still enjoying it. It's just it's very slow going, and that combined with the fact that I'm doing all my holiday knitting and getting high off quick fast hat projects is making it go slower. So hopefully, maybe part of my crazy, ooh, yeah, that's right, crazy cow people. Part of my crazy is that 1 week I will be monogamous. Ooh, that's so naughty. I'm doing it. So as soon as I get all my Christmas presents done, I can't do it until then. But as soon as I get all my holiday gifts done, maybe I'll be monogamous in my sweater. Dude, I think I should do that. That'd be fabulous. Okay, so I think that's all the works in progress you've seen. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So the other, another things I'm making. Works in progress that are new to you, new to me this week. I am making the Alderman Mitts by Victoria Magnus. And I am making those out of hand spun. These are for a friend for Yule, Christmas, whatever. This is Jacob that I hand spun. She has a really big thing for Jacob's sheep. So hopefully she'll appreciate that this yarn is not the softest yarn in the world. It's not, it feels kind of scratchy in the ball. I mean, not scratchy, but not merino. You know what I mean? But really when it's knit up, it doesn't feel like that way, but it does feel very, like it's a very firm fabric because it is what I would consider DK, and I'm knitting it on US 2s to get gauge. So the fabric is dense because it's like a fun cable-y thing. Do you see that happening? It's a free pattern. Did I say that? I hope so. I'm doing a double points. Bamboo double points in this tight gauge is a little bit not the best idea, but aesthetically it's pleasing me, so I'm just going to go with it. So yeah, that's just one of them done. I'm making the cuff longer than the pattern says because I don't like those little tiny cuffs on mitts. I like it to be a little bit longer. So I think the cuff pattern said, or the pattern said to do 11 rows of ribbing, and I did 20. So almost twice as long. But not quite. Just to be difficult, I guess. So there's that. And then, oh, is that all I have to show you extra? I guess so. I didn't work any more on my kids' toys this week because, again, she was home all weekend. This didn't happen. And I need yarn for that other zombie kitty cat. So the next thing I'm making, I flashed you very briefly last week. I am making a pair of the Fiber Trends felt clogs. So you may remember if you watched the show before that I made a couple pairs of the Sunday morning slippers. Is that right? I think so. I really do like those, and I would have made those for this person, except he's got a grandfather clause. Haha, literally. He's my daughter's grandfather. And I have made him 2 pairs of these in the past, and he really loves them. So I didn't want to change up the pattern because he loves them. It was so exciting when we went home for Thanksgiving. They were going on a trip afterwards. So they had their whole car packed up, and I totally saw his last year's slippers in the car. Wasn't that cool? I was so excited. I was like, yeah, he really wears them. So I have... This is the size US 10, which is the size I make for myself. I'm a women's 11. I just felt it a little bit more. The men's size, though. So this is the second to biggest size that's on the pattern. So there's one. I don't have this. I'll show you. Okay. There's one, and there's 2. And yes, folks, it really does shrink down to like this big. It's kind of crazy. But these are, one of the reasons I do like these is they have a double sole, which I'm a fan of. So this is this first sole that I'm working on, and then you like 3 needle join it together and do that. And I am knitting that. with lovely yarn that was gifted to me by Vicky. I'm trying to find the other. It's Lamb's Pride worsted, of course. 85% wool, 15% mohair. I've never felted with this, so hopefully it'll be okay. Things that do felt really well are that you don't want to use a really expensive yarn for felting because hi. The last pair I made him was with the Lion brand fisherman's wool, and those felted really nicely. Like they didn't get fuzzy or kind of gunky or anything. They felted really nicely, and they held up evidently well. So Lamb's Pride worsted. Old Sage is the green. So that's another green one. And then the blue is something. Oh, here's one. The blue is Tahiti teal. I would call that just mallard. Whatever, if you want to be fancy, I guess it's Tahiti teal. So, yeah. I'm knitting those on size 11s. I probably didn't tell you anything I knit anything on, but you know what else? That's how I roll. My shawl, the Geyser stretch, was on 7s. The hat was on, I think, 7s. No, it was on 9s. It was on 9s because it's like that super bulky stuff. Some other stuff. Sweaters on 3s. Basically, I knit everything 2 needle sizes down. Pretty much universally, I just go down 2 needle sizes. Unless it just sounds crazy. Like, you know, that's how I roll, though. Yeah. Okay, now I have stuff to show you that I bought. Bad person. Okay. So first thing I bought. Are you ready? How can I not buy this? This is self-striping yarn by Hiawassee Creek Dye Works in the Charlie in the Box colorway. From the Island of Misfit Toys, yo. Can you know I like this color? Ah. So it's self-striping. Does it say? I don't know. I don't think she says on here. No. Okay. I didn't think she's put like what number of stripes are which. But it's also sparkly. I've never had sparkly sock yarn. This is crazy sauce, but I'm totally psyched about it. And this is 390 yards, fingering weight, 80% merino, superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's her sassafras sock striping base. So excited. She also has the heat miser. And is it Jack Frost? The heat miser's opponent, whatever his name is. But she totally has like a whole Rankin Bass theme. How could I not get in that? There's also a Rudolph one in the girl Rudolph. I can't remember her name. How could I not do that? Sucked in. Then I love Marigold Jen, right? You've heard me talk about how much I love her face before. I have 2 skeins of her sock yarn that I still have not knit because they're so pretty. I'm waiting for like the precious Jesus light from the heavens moment. So of course Stocking at Zombie Faces had a coupon code because they had their own colorways dyed. How fancy are they? They're so fancy. They had their own colorways dyed with Marigold Jen because she's fancy too. Everybody's fancy. Fancy. So they were also having a coupon code because they're going to do knit along. And I love Marigold Jen so much. And now I want to make 5 billion hats for some reason. Maybe that's not really why. I have no idea what's happening. But so I was like, oh my gosh, I need crazy other weights of hers to try out, right? For the podcast. It's like product research or something. Totally justified. Whatever. So I bought some other things. Okay, so first I'll show you the fingering. This is her BFL fingering. Pumpkin pie! Oh, I should have passed the pumpkin pie. I'm sorry. It's 75% BFL, 25% nylon, 464 yards. I love orange. I said Marigold Jen. Do you need the visual too? You're not going to be able to see it. I'll put the link in. Oh, you can kind of see it. Marigold Jen. And of course, Jenny Porter. She's such a lovely person. She always writes nice notes. And then worsted weight. This is the bronzite color. It's 100% merino, superwash, 215 yards. It's so beautiful. Can you see? Because you remember also I was like, I need more blue yarn. Oh, I need blue. Clearly I needed this one. I must stash you how to get this. I'm so stupid. But isn't it pretty? Oh, Marigold, curse you. But not really. And the last but certainly not least. Are you ready? What? That's even a thing? This is the Lagoon colorway in her DK weight MCN, which is 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere, 230 yards. Shut up. Of course, I had to buy it. Look at it. What? Ah! It's going to be on my head. This one will also be on my head, not together, because they're too beautiful like to be put together, because then the world would implode and black hole in the surface. We already talked about that. So yeah, that's totally all. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments about the show last week. I really was like afraid that I clearly sounded a little bit like a lunatic, because I always do, but I was really afraid that you were all gonna be like, what is wrong? Why is she so like stodgy and grumpy face about the little girl's clothes? Oh, sorry, flashback. Oh shoot, I had something to show you this week, which I don't even have. I'm never good at gathering everything. I'll have to show you next week. Remember. So thank you all for being so supportive and being like, yeah, I know it's crazy, right? Because I really appreciated it. Because I kind of, sometimes when you're all out there alone, the little cute, beautiful Joanna Springs on her podcast Knit Spin Farm was talking about, like, sometimes when you're trying to do the non-consumeristic holidays, that sometimes you just feel like you're all alone. Like, what? I'm the only one. I'm the only voice in the insanity. That's kind of how I felt. I'm like, is there something wrong with me that I'm like, this is crazy? But there are evidently some more of you, so yay, we're all together. So yeah, I'm just gonna make sure I didn't bring that other thing closer, and I just don't see it. Oh, I didn't. But I'll talk about it next week if I don't forget. Psychically remind me. So yeah, that's all. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being a part of the group. Thanks so much for leaving iTunes reviews. Thanks so much for donations. Thanks so much for everything, people. You're awesome. I really do love your faces. And I'll see you next week.